Hey guys, welcome back to another review. And since that Christmas is now over, by the way, I had a really good one. Hopefully, you had a good Christmas, which was yesterday. And since Christmas is over, I'm gonna go back to now just normal reviews. So today I am reviewing The Interview. Why? Because I just kind of felt like it. Starring James Franco, Seth Rogen, Randall Park, and Lizzie Kaplan, and was directed by Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen, and is about a TV show host and his producer travel to North Korea for an interview with their leader, while also they get a job from the CIA to assassinate him. Okay, let's talk about the positives. Is this a good movie? I'd say it is. It's a very entertaining movie. The performances are good. Probably my favorite movie Seth Rogen has done. Not saying he's a bad actor or a bad comedian or anything. This is just one of the few movies I've actually seen from him. James Franco's really good here. This is probably the funniest he's been. He was one of the best parts of the movie Pineapple Express, which I don't know why. I just wasn't really a big fan of that movie. I know a lot of people are, but I just really wasn't. And let's see. Yeah. This is not James Franco's best performance. This is his best comedic role. His best performance is probably 127 hours. But Randall Park, who I think was Asian Jim in that one opening scene of The Office, and then at least that's all I've seen him in. He was really good as Kim Jong Un. I can't really pronounce his name. The leader of North Korea, which we were really heated with when this movie came out. I'm not really gonna dive into the political stuff about this, but he was really good in the movie. All the performances are pretty good. And is the movie funny? Actually, yes, it was. It was actually pretty funny. Before you ask, I know this movie was like banned in several areas and it was very controversial. I don't think it was warranted. I mean, it's a Seth Rogen movie. I mean, is it really worth almost starting World War III over? No, definitely not. Definitely not. If that happened, I'd be like, whoops. So yeah, easily one of the funniest parts is the opening scene with a cameo by Eminem. That was pretty funny. I'm not a fan of rap, but that was funny. And then there is what? And usually you might think this movie will poke fun at North Korea a lot. They mostly poke fun of the media more. That I just wanted to let you know that they more poke fun at the American media than they do at North Korea, which they do poke fun at it, and they do go into why it kind of stinks over there for people. And then there's the third act, which is just like literally everything about it was amazing. It was so this movie got surprisingly bloody at times. Like when I watched it, I'm like, okay, I know it says bloody violence and the reason why it's rated R, but I'm like, it can't be that bad. And then I watch it, it's basically a slaughter fest at the end of the movie, I was like, what is going on? But I'm gonna say I had some fun with the ending with this movie. I had some fun with it. It's not a perfect movie. Don't get me wrong. It's not perfect at all. It is just enjoyable. It's a very enjoyable movie. Very vulgar though. Like, even though I watched it partially censored, it still was very vulgar. Okay, let's see. What else can I talk about? The movie is actually surprisingly pretty well shot. The movie actually has some good shots there. Um, uh, the ending is very well filmed. If you don't know, it's basically an action sequence, and it's very well filmed. It's not that bad. I do like one ending shot that has the song "Fireworks." It was interesting to say the least. And yeah, let's talk about that's about all my positives with this movie. Let's talk about the negatives. I have about two major ones that do bring this movie down a lot. The second act is not perfect. It's very mixed on it. I mean, yeah, there were some funny parts in the second half, but it was mostly just a bunch of spy stuff that I really didn't care about. The second act is easily the weakest part of this movie. And then there are some jokes throughout that just don't really hit. And, I mean, they're just kind of like whatever, and they just fly by. It's like Deadpool 2 a bit, where some jokes don't always land, and they just, they don't always land, but then you're just like, whatever. It's not like you cringe at it or anything. Even though, trust me, this movie can get a little uncomfortable if you watch it with your kid or an adult. So, it gets a little uncomfortable at times. Unless you're watching it censored, then you have nothing, like VidAngel, and you have nothing less to lose, which is how I watch this movie, because, oh boy, there are so much movies I've seen that I would never have seen if it wasn't for that. But anyway, okay, now, what else can I talk about? I think that's about it. Let's conclude this. So, in conclusion, The Interview is a perfectly enjoyable movie. It's not the funniest movie I've ever seen. It's not nearly one of the best comedies I've seen. But for an enjoyable comedy movie, this one is pretty good. I will give The Interview a B minus, and is flawed but good. So if you've seen The Interview, what did you think about it? And if you like this review, give it a like, and I will see you guys next time.